Look, we're already seeing that 2025 is shaping up to be the year where the SEC completely flipped the script. We've got a crypto-friendly administration now. The whole US crypto market is finally waking up. And honestly, I think our entire economy is starting to get it. Crypto tech is going to be integrated into pretty much everything and totally transform how finance works with digital assets, stablecoins, all of it. I genuinely believe when we look back, 2025 will be that pivotal moment where we say, yep, that's when everything changed for crypto. And speaking of what's happening, we've got to keep our eyes on what the SEC is actually doing now. Just mid-month, Paul Atkins has been out there championing crypto left and right. Actually, on August 15th, he went on Mornings with Maria on Fox Business to talk about the SEC's crypto project and how they're working to help U.S. businesses thrive, protect investors, and get this, make America the crypto capital of the world.
Now, this whole crypto capital of the world thing, we've been hearing about it forever.
Started back in November, carried through December, and honestly, all of 2025, people have been rolling their eyes saying, yeah, right, just another empty promise that'll never happen. If this XRP update is helping you out, please smash that like button. It really helps me reach more people in the crypto space. When you like the video, YouTube pushes it to more XRP investors and traders who need these updates. Please, it's super important that you like the video. Thank you. Now let's get back to the video. But here's the thing, every single move we've seen in 2025 feels like proof that they're actually serious about this. Like every branch of government, every agency, they're all working together to make this thing real. Perfect example, go back to July 31st when Paul Atkins posted that thank you to A1 Policy saying, thanks for having me to discuss Project Crypto, which will be the SEC's North Star in helping the president make America the crypto capital of the world. We're standing at the threshold of a new era in our markets. I mean, when you've got the SEC calling crypto their North Star, that's not just talk anymore, that's action. Project Crypto is basically the SEC going full send on modernizing every securities rule in the book so American financial markets can live on chain. And wow, this is the SEC we're talking about here, literally saying, yep, we're moving everything on chain. Let's do this. I mean, can we just pause for a second? The same SEC that spent years treating crypto like public enemy number one is now doing a complete 180 going, you know what? We're going to throw everything we've got at modernizing securities markets and getting them on blockchain. It's like watching your strictest teacher suddenly become your biggest cheerleader. Then the president's working group drops this PWG report that's basically a step-by-step manual for the SEC and everyone else on building the framework to keep America crushing it in crypto markets. This isn't pie-in-the-sky stuff anymore. This report is straight up the game plan to cement America as the undisputed blockchain and crypto champion. Project Crypto is all about keeping the US as hands down the best place on the planet to launch a business, build next-level tech, and jump into capital markets. So here's what we're doing. First up, we're bringing crypto asset distributions back home to America. The PWG report laid it out perfectly, and my top priority is getting a solid regulatory framework for crypto asset distribution up and running as fast as humanly possible. Second, if we're going to hit the president's targets, the SEC needs to make sure everyone has total freedom when they're picking where to custody and trade their crypto assets. No restrictions, maximum choice. Third on my list, letting market participants go wild with super apps. Time to unleash that innovation. And fourth, I've already told our staff to tear up those dusty old agency rules and regulations that are holding us back. We're going to let on-chain software systems absolutely transform our markets. No more roadblocks. Look, innovation and entrepreneurship, that's what drives America's economy, period. The president calls us the nation of builders, and you know what? Under my watch, the SEC is going to champion our builders instead of burying them under mountains of red tape and cookie-cutter rules that don't make sense. As we push these priorities forward, I'm pumped to team up with everyone across the administration to actually make the US the crypto capital of the world. This isn't just some once-in-a-generation thing. This is absolutely bonkers coming from an SEC chair. And to really nail this crypto capital vision, we've got the President's Working Group report on digital assets, Project Crypto, the Genius Act, plus a bunch of other bills coming down the pipeline. I mean, seriously, check this out.
So a couple of weeks ago, the administration issued the President's Working Group's report on digital assets in the United States. And there were clear directions to the SEC. We're part of the PWG, that President's Working Group, and clear recommendations for us to go forward and help make what the President has announced, his intention to make America the crypto capital of the world and have the world run on American technology. So we're mobilizing at the SEC all our different divisions and offices to focus on making that announcement become reality. So that's with our Corporation Finance Division, Investment Management, and others. We're focusing on what we can do to make the regulations of the SEC encompass the crypto assets and also make it so that people can have some clarity going forward. We're working with Congress. Obviously, the Genius Act was enacted here a few weeks ago with a big announcement at the White House by the President himself, and as he signed it. So that, I thought, was a very good step forward. And now there are other bills in Congress that are being considered, and when they return from their recess, I look forward to much more forward progress.
So when you look at all these moves happening right now, I'm telling you, this is absolutely the time to be in crypto. We're about to watch these markets explode in ways we've never seen before. And it's not just because the SEC is making nice announcements. It's because literally every major player in America has jumped on the crypto train. This year has been absolutely insane for crypto already. I came across this breakdown that just blew my mind. So you're telling me that 2025 has already delivered the Genius Act, Draft Clarity Act, Crypto Task Force, they killed SAB 121. We got the Epic Games decision, 401ks can now hold crypto, and the US is getting ready to stack Bitcoin as a strategic reserve? Like, what timeline are we living in? Now, tons of people were saying, no way they're actually going to buy Bitcoin, but check this out. Scott Bessent from Treasury just said they're committed to exploring budget-neutral pathways to acquire more Bitcoin to expand the reserve. I mean, come on, when Treasury is talking about expanding Bitcoin reserves, we've officially entered a whole new world. So they're basically figuring out how to buy more Bitcoin without it costing taxpayers a dime. We'll have to see how that plays out, but just the fact that they're actively planning this stuff, that tells us everything we need to know about where this is headed. And here's where it gets really exciting. Think about what this means for companies like Ripple and projects like XRP. Remember, we keep talking about this whole American-made technology push, right? Well, XRP happens to be the biggest American-made coin sitting in the top ranks on CoinMarketCap. And Ripple, they're as American as it gets. Homegrown company right here in the US. This is seriously the perfect storm for Ripple and XRP right now. I mean, think about it. The SEC just finished their whole thing with Ripple. And now we've got all these different government groups working together to make America the place for crypto. So you'd expect to see some major moves happening, right? Well, guess what? We totally are. Get this. The exact same day we heard that speech, the Federal Reserve drops this bombshell announcement. They're basically killing off their novel activity supervision program and going back to their regular way of keeping an eye on banks' new ventures. This is absolutely massive, guys. Here's why this matters so much. That supervision program, it was basically the driving force behind Operation Choke Point 2.0. I actually talked to a banking lawyer about this, and they told me that while the Fed hasn't ditched all their anti-crypto rules from the Biden days yet, this is definitely another huge piece falling into place. It's like watching this whole shift happen right before our eyes. It actually takes me back to everything we've been hearing from all the big banking players lately. They're all starting to give crypto the green light. We already know the Fed said banks can get into crypto now. And if you remember back in March, US banks got their crypto approval too. So here's the thing. The US Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, that's the OCC, just came out and said, hey, national banks, you can totally do crypto stuff now. We're talking custody services, stable coins, blockchain networks, the whole 9 yards. Includes, they're throwing out that old bureaucratic nonsense where banks had to come crawling for permission every single time. Now it's like, you want to do crypto? Cool, just make sure you've got your house in order first. And it gets better. The FDIC jumped on board too, right around the same time in March. They're making it way easier for banks to dive into crypto activities. This is honestly one of the best ways to get crypto into the mainstream. When your regular old bank can handle it, Suddenly, it's not this scary, unknown thing anymore. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This all ties back perfectly to what we just saw from Paul Atkins, right? Think about it this way. Both Trump and his son Eric have been pretty vocal about how messed up our banking system is. The whole financial system is basically broken, according to them. So what's their solution? Simple. Give all the big banks the green light, let them embrace crypto integration, and roll out the red carpet for stablecoins. And look, we already know Scott Bassett has been all in on stablecoins from day one. This whole administration, they've been backing stablecoins since the beginning of the year. So basically, all this stuff isn't just sitting around waiting anymore. It's getting the official thumbs up for adoption. At the same time, we're watching them literally clear the road for all this tech to actually happen. It's wild. We've pretty much got everything lined up to fast-track crypto adoption across the entire US. There's still a couple hurdles left, though. The big one? That Clarity Act. That's basically the final boss level we need to beat. But honestly, we are so incredibly close to seeing the US just fully integrate crypto into our financial system. I don't think most people get just how close we actually are to this massive turning point for crypto. 2025 has been absolutely insane, but it's also been the year where everything's finally clicking into place. The whole landscape is shifting right in front of us. I've got to quote Paul Atkins here because he nailed it perfectly. This isn't just some regulatory tweaking we're seeing. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity we're staring at. And you know what? I'd say the exact same thing about what's happening in the retail space too. We're not just looking at some asset class that's sitting pretty at almost $4 trillion right now. And this isn't one of those maybe it'll be big someday situations either. We've got crystal clear confirmation that crypto is about to explode in ways we've never seen before. This is literally a once-in-a-lifetime shot for regular people like us to jump in at the ground level, right before all these regulations actually hit the market and every major bank in the world's biggest economy starts plugging this tech straight into their systems. I mean, seriously, think about what happens to the price of these assets when they get fully adopted by the largest economy on the planet and every single bank is weaving these networks right into their entire tech infrastructure. It's going to be absolutely massive. And here's the thing. ISO 20022 is basically forcing banks to integrate all this stuff anyway. Everything we're seeing happen right now, it's all following that ISO 20022 timeline like clockwork. The banks don't even have a choice. They have to get on board with this integration. So here's the deal. November is the big deadline for ISO 20022 adoption, meaning every bank out there has to get this new tech integrated by year's end. And honestly, this could be crypto's breakthrough moment. Look, 2025 has already been absolutely wild, and I'm telling you, it's just going to keep getting crazier from here. Here's what's interesting, though. When you look at the announcements we're getting now, compared to back in 2020 and 2021, some of this stuff is genuinely mind-blowing. But we're not freaking out about it the same way we used to because, well, it's become pretty normal at this point, which is actually awesome. It means these huge announcements are dropping so regularly that we've almost become numb to them. And that's exactly the kind of problem you want to have. That's exactly what it means. Adoption is picking up speed, acceptance is through the roof, and we're literally paving the way for this tech to go mainstream. Listen, we are still incredibly early to this party, and we're sitting right in the middle of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're about to witness the biggest shakeup in finance and technology that any of us have ever seen. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. If it hit the spot for you, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely turn those notifications on. There's tons more free content coming your way. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Catch you later.